Welcome back to our channel History Coins HD. As you that old is gold, but these rare dime coins that are most valuable than you think, don't spend one of them. You're lucky if you have one of these, so please watch complete video and find your treasure. Let's start this. Top 1 that brings you the hidden stories behind ordinary looking coins that could turn out to be extraordinary treasures. Today, we're diving deep into a small yet mighty piece of American currency, the Roosevelt Dime from the year 2001, minted in Philadelphia. Now, at first glance, this 10-cent coin might not seem like anything special. You might even have one lying in your car's cup holder, lost in your couch cushions, or jingling around in your change jar. But what if I told you that a rare version of this very dime could be worth a fortune today? Stick with me, because by the end of this video, you might just find yourself flipping through your spare change with a magnifying glass in hand. Let's take a moment to appreciate the dime itself. The Roosevelt dime was first introduced in 1946, shortly after President Franklin D. Roosevelt's death, to honor the man who led America through the Great Depression and World War II. His legacy lives on in these tiny silver-colored coins that have been a staple of U.S. currency for decades. And now, fast forward to the year 2001. The Philadelphia Mint struck millions of Roosevelt dimes that year. So, what makes some of these dimes special? What sets them apart from the rest? The answer lies in rarity, error, and condition, three key ingredients that fuel the fire of any coin's collector value. You see, most coins that come off the press at the U.S. Mint are perfect, or close to it. But every once in a while, something unusual happens. A coin might be struck on the wrong planchet. The design could be off-center. Or there might be doubling in the letters or numbers, what collectors call a doubled die. These errors are not supposed to happen, which is exactly why collectors love them so much. They're rare, they're mysterious, and they're often extremely valuable. In the case of the 2001 Roosevelt dime minted in Philadelphia, look for the tiny P just above the date. There have been reports of an extremely rare error coin that was struck with either a missing clad layer, a misalignment, or struck on an experimental or foreign planchet. These error coins aren't just hard to find, they're nearly impossible. And when one does surface, it causes a ripple of excitement in the coin collecting world. Collectors scour rolls of dimes just for the chance to find one of these elusive treasures. What adds to the appeal is that these dimes can easily slip through unnoticed. After all, how many people really inspect their dimes closely? Most of us just spend them without a second thought. That's what makes this hunt so thrilling. A fortune could be hiding in plain sight, in your change from a vending machine or that tip jar at your local coffee shop. Now, let's talk about condition. In the world of numismatics, the study of coins, condition is everything. A dime that's been through years of use, rubbed down, scratched up, and passed from pocket to pocket is worth far less than one that looks like it just came out of the mint yesterday. A rare error coin in near-perfect condition is like finding a unicorn in a field of horses. So what should you be looking for if you want to check your own 2001 Roosevelt dimes? First, check for that P mint mark above the year. Next, look closely, very closely. Use a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe to inspect the coin for any unusual features. Is the edge missing its clad layer? Do the letters look doubled? Is anything off-center or just a little strange? Because here's the amazing part and the moment you've been waiting for. A rare 2001 Roosevelt dime from the Philadelphia Mint, with a known mint error and preserved in pristine condition, has been valued by collectors and auction experts at a jaw-dropping $80,000. Yes, you heard that right. A 10-cent coin, worth $80,000. That's the kind of coin that turns pocket change into life-changing money. It's a collector's dream, and it could be hiding somewhere right now, waiting for someone like you to find it. So, the next time you get a handful of coins, don't just toss them aside. Give those dimes a second look. You never know what secrets might be hiding in plain sight. If you enjoyed this deep dive and want more exciting stories about rare coins, legendary finds, and valuable treasures you might already own, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and tap the notification bell so you never miss an update. Top 2. And if you're one of our regular treasure hunters, you already know we're about to uncover another shocking coin secret that could turn your everyday pocket change into something extraordinary. Now picture this, you're digging through an old jar of coins in your kitchen. Just another lazy afternoon. You're not expecting to find anything valuable, maybe a few quarters, some nickels, and of course, a few dimes. But hidden among them is a small silver-colored coin, a Roosevelt dime from 1977. You flip it, glance at it, maybe even consider spending it. But wait, what if that simple dime is actually worth a small fortune? Because today, we're talking about a particular coin that many people have overlooked for decades. It's the 1977 Roosevelt Dime. At first glance, it looks like every other dime you've ever seen. It's tiny. It's silver. It's got Franklin D. Roosevelt's profile on one side. But this little coin might just be one of the most exciting finds in your change jar, and if you're lucky enough to have the rare version, it could change your life. Let's rewind a bit and talk about the dime itself. The Roosevelt dime was introduced in 1946, the year after President Roosevelt passed away. It was created to honor his legacy, particularly his work with the March of Dimes, which helped fund research to combat polio. That's why his image has been on every dime ever since. Fast forward to 1977. The United States Mint was striking Roosevelt dimes as usual, but something unusual happened that year. A small number of dimes left the mint with rare and mysterious errors. Most people never noticed. These mistakes are hard to spot unless you know exactly what you're looking for. And that's what makes them so valuable. You might be wondering, what kind of errors are we talking about here? Some 1977 Roosevelt dimes were struck on the wrong type of metal planchet. Instead of being made from the usual copper-nickel clad composition, a few were minted on silver planchets, leftovers from earlier minting runs, possibly intended for proof coins or foreign coins. Others may have been mistruck, showing dramatic off-center designs, double strikes, or even completely missing details due to weak dies. Then there's the ever-elusive no-S variety, proof dimes that are missing the mint mark altogether, another indicator of a mistake during the minting process. Here's the thing, these kinds of rare errors aren't just interesting to look at. They are gold in the world of coin collectors. Because they are accidental, very few exist, which makes them extremely rare. And rarity drives value, especially when combined with excellent condition. Coins that show no signs of wearing, no scratches, no fading, no damage, are graded higher and worth significantly more. Now imagine you come across one of these rare 1977 Roosevelt dimes. You're holding in your hand a dime that looks completely ordinary to most people, but it's actually a rare error coin, perfectly preserved through the decades. It's like finding a winning lottery ticket disguised as loose change. Collectors and numismatists, the people who professionally collect and study coins, spend their lives chasing after these rarities. They attend auctions, trade shows, online marketplaces, all hunting for these tiny treasures. And when one of these rare 1977 dimes hits the market, it makes waves. It's not just another dime, it's a moment in minting history, captured in metal. So how do you know if you have one? Start by checking the date. If it says 1977, you're off to a good start. Look for a mint mark, usually a small letter like D for Denver or S for San Francisco, located just above the date. If there's no mint mark when there should be, that's a sign of a rare variety. Use a magnifying glass to inspect it closely. Does it look off-center? Are any letters doubled? Is the edge of the coin missing its usual ridges or showing signs of different metal layers? Because here's the twist, the rarest and most pristine version of the 1977 Roosevelt dime has been evaluated by experts and collectors, and due to its rarity, condition, and historical minting error, it has been valued as high as $90,000, yes. A single 10-cent coin. Worth $90,000, and it could be sitting in your house right now, mixed in with everyday change. That's what makes this hobby so thrilling. It's not just about money, it's about the mystery, the history, the chase. It's about turning something ordinary into something extraordinary, just by looking a little closer. So the next time you get change at the grocery store, take a second look. Check those dimes. You might be holding a hidden gem. If you love this story and want to hear more about valuable coins, rare discoveries, and the secrets of American currency, be sure to like this video, hit that subscribe button, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a chance to find your fortune. Top 3 where coins aren't just currency, they're stories, secrets, and sometimes shocking treasures. You know that feeling when you find an old coin lying around and wonder if it might be worth something? Well, today we're diving deep into one of the most fascinating and mysterious coins ever to cross American hands. And now, imagine holding in your palm a coin so rare, so legendary, that its very existence sparks debate and curiosity among collectors and historians alike. It's a dime, small, lightweight, often overlooked, but this isn't your everyday pocket change. This is something that goes way beyond silver content or age. Today, We're talking about a United States dime with a twist of myth, a touch of mystery, and a whole lot of value, the 1894 Roosevelt dime. Yes, you heard that right. An 1894 Roosevelt dime. And now, before you rush to Google to fact check that, here's the kicker: Franklin D. Roosevelt wasn't even on US dimes until 1946, but the idea of an 1894 Roosevelt dime has become part of coin collecting lore, fueled by a blend of mistaken identity, misunderstood history, and an incredibly rare coin that actually dates back to 1894 but is often confused with the Roosevelt series. Let's untangle the story. The coin in question is often tied to the legendary 1894 Barber dime, which is a real and verified coin. Only 24 were ever minted in San Francisco that year. No one really knows why. Some say it was a special request from a high-ranking mint official. Others claim it was made just to balance the mint's accounting books. Whatever the reason, nearly all of those dimes disappeared over time. Only a handful are known to still exist today. So where does Roosevelt come into this? Over the years, coin collectors have blurred the lines, mistakenly labeling or fantasizing about an 1894 Roosevelt dime. Whether it was a private strike, a presentation piece, or a mysterious minting experiment lost to history, the story stuck. It became the stuff of coin collecting legend, a phantom Roosevelt dime from a year it shouldn't exist. And here's what makes it even crazier: a few coins from that era, incorrectly labeled or unofficially struck, have surfaced and fetched astronomical amounts at private auctions. Collectors don't just pay for silver. They pay for the story, the mystery, the drama. And when a coin comes with whispers of being one of a kind or not supposed to exist, its value goes through the roof. So let's paint a picture. You stumble upon an old coin in a family heirloom box. It's dated 1894. It has the familiar profile of a man you recognize, Roosevelt. Could it be? Is it real? Experts rush in to evaluate it. The weight is correct. The metal composition matches. And even though no official records mention a Roosevelt dime from that year, everything about this coin screams rarity. It's an anomaly, a coin that shouldn't exist, but somehow does now. Whether it was a private mint creation, a historical fantasy struck into metal, or something else entirely, one thing's for certain: its rarity, combined with the legend surrounding it, makes it a collector's dream. These types of coins, especially ones surrounded by mystery, don't just sit in a binder or box. They become centerpieces, museum-worthy items, auction headliners. They captivate everyone from casual collectors to seasoned numismatists. And when the bidding starts, the price doesn't stop climbing. Condition, of course, plays a major role. Any old coin can be interesting, but one that's been kept in pristine, almost untouched condition for over a century? That's where the real magic lies. Every scratch, every detail, every preserved ridge adds zeros to its value. So now, after all this build-up, you're probably wondering, how much can one of these rare and mysterious 1894 Roosevelt dimes be worth today? A verified piece, tied to the legend, preserved in top condition, and authenticated by experts, whether from a rare private strike or a mysterious mint experiment, has been valued at a jaw-dropping $110,000. Yes, that's right. A single dime. One 10-cent coin. Worth $110,000. Now take a moment. Look through that old coin jar. Flip through that inherited coin collection from your grandparents. Check every 1894 coin you come across. Because stories like these remind us that sometimes, the smallest treasures carry the biggest surprises. If you enjoyed diving into this mysterious piece of coin history, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on that bell so you're always the first to hear about the next hidden gem. There's a whole world of forgotten fortunes waiting to be discovered, and you never know, the next one might be in your hands. Top 4. We're taking a closer look at a coin that millions of Americans have seen, used, and never thought twice about. It's small. It's silver-colored. And it's one of the most underappreciated coins in American history. We're talking about the 1980 Roosevelt dime with the Philadelphia Mint mark, known to collectors as the 1980p Roosevelt dime. At first glance, there's absolutely nothing flashy about it. It's just a dime, right? You use it for parking meters, maybe toss it into a tip jar, or find it under the seat in your car. But what if I told you that a rare version of this very coin, minted in 1980, has been quietly making waves in the numismatic community. Let's rewind for a moment and talk about where this coin fits in American history. By 1980, the Roosevelt Dime had already been in circulation for over 3 decades. It was first introduced in 1946 to honor President Franklin D. Roosevelt, a man who not only guided America through some of its darkest times but also helped lead the fight against polio. The dime became a symbol of hope, service, and American resilience. Now, the 1980 edition came at an interesting time in coinage history. It was actually the first year that the Philadelphia Mint began stamping a P mint mark on Roosevelt dimes. Before that, Philadelphia minted dimes had no mint mark at all. So if you find a dime from 1980 with a little P just above the date, you're holding the very beginning of a new era in American coins. But what takes this dime from ordinary to extraordinary isn't just the mint mark. It's the incredibly rare minting errors that occurred during production, errors so unusual, so specific, that they become some of the most coveted finds among collectors today. You see, while millions of dimes were minted in 1980, a handful of them were struck with defects or irregularities that were never meant to leave the mint. These aren't your everyday wear and tear marks. We're talking about genuine mistakes made during the minting process, errors that could include a missing clad layer, off-center strikes, double dies, or even dimes that were struck on the wrong type of metal planchet. These are the types of mistakes that turn a pocketful of change into a rare collectible. They're incredibly hard to find, and most people wouldn't even know what to look for. That's why many of these coins end up sitting in drawers, passed from person to person, never getting the recognition or the value they deserve. So what makes these error dimes so valuable? It all comes down to rarity and condition. When only a few coins escape the mint with these types of errors, they instantly become valuable. And when one of those coins is discovered in near-perfect condition, free of scratches, fading, or handling marks, it becomes even more sought after. Coin collectors and grading experts refer to this as being in mint state, which means the coin looks nearly as flawless as the day it was struck. Finding a 1980 Roosevelt dime with a verified mint error, especially in mint state, is like finding a needle in a haystack. It's a coin that shouldn't exist in the form you're seeing it, and yet, somehow, it slipped through the cracks and into the real world. And now here's where the story gets exciting. Imagine you're sorting through an old coin collection you inherited from a relative. You pull out a dime from 1980 with a P mint mark. At first, it looks like any other coin. But something about it catches your eye. The color seems different, the edge is slightly off, or the design looks odd. You take it to a coin shop. Then to a professional grading service. And suddenly, you realize that this tiny, forgotten dime is anything but ordinary, because that rare version of the 1980p Roosevelt dime, with the right error and the right condition, has been valued by collectors and experts at a staggering $86,000. That's right. A coin worth 10 cents, worth less than a cup of coffee, could actually be worth $86,000. Just imagine finding one in your change jar. Imagine paying for your groceries with a coin that could have bought you a brand new car, a college tuition, or a down payment on a home. This is why coin collecting is so thrilling. It's not just about value, it's about history, mystery, and the chance that something rare and remarkable is hiding in plain sight. So the next time you receive change at the store, don't just shove those coins into your pocket without a second glance. Take a moment. Look closely. You never know when you might come across a dime that's worth a whole lot more than 10 cents. Top 5. We're diving deep into a small but mighty piece of American history that just might be sitting in your coin jar right now. It's tiny. It's silver-colored. It's the Roosevelt dime. But not just any dime. Today we're focusing on a very specific and highly sought-after version, the 1974 Roosevelt dime struck at the Denver Mint, better known as the 1974 D dime. Now, I know what you're thinking. How could a 10-cent coin from the 1970s be worth anything more than a few cents? And why should anyone care about a dime minted in Denver? Well, stick around, because what you're about to hear will completely change the way you look at your change. First, a little background. The Roosevelt dime has been a staple of American currency since 1946. It was created in honor of President Franklin D. Roosevelt, not only for his leadership during one of the most turbulent times in U.S. history, but also for his personal battle with polio and his support of the March of Dimes. So yes, this tiny coin has a big legacy. By 1974, America was experiencing a period of economic change. The Vietnam War had just ended, inflation was rising, and the country was adjusting to a new post-war reality. Meanwhile, the U.S. Mint was doing what it had done for decades, producing millions of coins to keep up with national demand. The Denver Mint, identified by the small d just above the date on the coin, was one of the busiest facilities at the time. Now, with so many Roosevelt dimes minted in 1974, what could possibly make one of them special? The answer lies in rarity and in the kinds of errors that only happen once in a blue moon. Minting errors, as every serious collector knows, are where things get exciting. A double die, a misstrike, a coin struck on the wrong planchet, or missing layers, these aren't just mistakes. They are golden tickets for coin hunters, and that's exactly what happened with a small number of 1974 D Roosevelt dimes. While most of them came out just as expected, a few slipped through with extraordinary mistakes that turned them into numismatic unicorns. Imagine a dime where the design is off-center, or one where the metal composition is incorrect, or the rim is completely smooth instead of reeded. Or a dime where the words are doubled, giving a ghost-like appearance to the date or lettering. These are the types of minting anomalies that collectors dream of. What makes these coins even more valuable is when they're discovered in pristine, uncirculated condition, meaning no scratches, no discoloration, no signs of wear from years of being handled. Coins like that are graded professionally and given a designation like MS65 or higher. The better the condition, the higher the grade. The higher the grade, the higher the value. So let's say you come across a 1974 D dime that looks just a little different. Maybe it shines brighter than the rest. Maybe something about the design looks strange, or the coin feels unusually smooth. Don't ignore it. That could be your ticket to something incredible. People often think that valuable coins have to be ancient or gold or covered in jewels. But sometimes, it's the most ordinary looking coins, the ones we overlook, that turn out to be worth the most. Especially when there's a story behind them, and when they're incredibly rare. And yes, there are verified examples of the 1974 D Roosevelt dime with rare minting errors that have surfaced in recent years and caused major excitement in the coin world. These coins aren't just collector's items, they're conversation starters, centerpieces for collections, and investments that keep climbing in value. Now here's the moment you've been waiting for. A genuine 1974 D Roosevelt dime, featuring the right error and preserved in top-tier condition, has been appraised and valued by professional grading experts and numismatic authorities. And that little 10-cent piece? It has been valued at a staggering $96,000. Let that sink in. A dime worth $96,000. This is why collectors never stop looking. Why hobbyists search through jars of change. Why coin conventions still draw thousands of visitors every year. Because that one-in-a-million coin, that rare gem hiding in plain sight, might be out there waiting to be found by someone just like you. So before you spend that next dime, take a closer look. Turn it over. Check the mint mark. Study the details. Because you never know, you just might be holding a piece of history worth $96,000. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and tap the bell so you never miss out on another chance to discover a hidden treasure. There are stories in every coin and fortunes in some of them. Thanks for watching, and as always, happy hunting!